Hello, how are you? So let's have a lesson for the 12th grade lesson. So as you remember that we learned many things as the previous lessons. So today's lesson's objectives are to understand the specific information on environmental issues, and number 2 is to use of infinitive for purpose, and number 3 is to write about personal feelings and opinions on the ways to conserve the environment. So as you know that the topic is nature conservation. So let's see now what we are going to talk about. So what picture is it? Okay, do you think about that? Okay, it's cleaning up campaign. So next picture is, what is it? So they are planting trees. So see now the third picture. So what is it? What do you think about that? So yes, you're right. It's water saving. Okay, next picture is, you see here? Okay, you got it? So it's reducing food wasting. So let's see the last picture. So what is it? Do you recycle your rubbish? Yes, you do? Okay, yes, it's recycling. Okay, today. Now, what we are going to talk about? So do you remember that the topic is nature conservation? So I have the questions and think about that, and maybe if you have time, you could write in your notebook. How do you recycle materials in your apartment? Nowadays, most apartments have the recycling center, which is to recycle your rubbish. But if you don't have your recycling center, maybe you will think about later, so what is the way to recycling materials? So you could answer the question. Okay, number 2 is, how will you celebrate Earth Day this year? So do you know Earth Day will be April 22nd? So if you don't know, how will you celebrate it? Okay, third question is, how will you celebrate World Environmental Day this year? Because spring is coming. So the springtime is mostly to planting some plants. So the Environmental Day will come on 5th June. So if you don't know these days, you could celebrate these 2 celebrations to plant something. Okay? I think so. You answered the questions, or maybe you think about that. How will you celebrate these 2 celebrations? Okay, now open your book, page number 118. So there is the text about the environmental conservation. It's about Mongolia. So today we are going to do some reading materials to choose the correct word. So here, first paragraph, I have 4 words, which is climate, and territory, and precipitation, and steppe region. Okay, now I will translate these 4 words in Mongolia. Climate цагаагаар, territory бүс нутаг, precipitation хур тундас, steppe region тал нутаг, тал бүс нутаг. Okay, are you ready to fill the words which is for suitable in the first paragraph? Number 1, Mongolia has an extreme continental blank. Its average annual length is relatively low, 150 to 200 millimeters. Only 8% of total length is covered in forest, and about 40% of Mongolian land area is located in Gobi Desert and blank. Okay, I will give you a few minutes to think about to fill these words. Okay, now let's see the paragraph 2. So here we have 5 words: aridity, degradation, hazardous, desertification, sandstorms. Okay, now I will translate into Mongolian. Aridity, хуурайшил. Degradation, бууралт, доройтол. Hazardous, ширүүн, аюултай. Desertification, сүлжилт гэсэн нэр үгөөсж байгаа. Sandstorms, салхин, эсний салхин шуурга буюу эсний салхийг гэлж байгаа. Okay, let's see now the paragraph 2. In recent years, over 3,000 rivers, streams, lakes, and ponds dried up because climate change and blank are accelerating. This intensive blank is clearly a challenge not only to Mongolians, but also to Central East and Southeast Asians. In particular, the desertification and blank increases the likelihood of blank, which have blank effects on the region. Okay, very carefully to think about what these words is suitable for these all blanks. Okay, I think so you have already knew that what words were is suitable for that. Okay, let's see correct answer. Continental climate. Average annual precipitation. And total territory. And desert and steppe region. Okay, I think so. You did very good for filling the words. Okay, let's see the next word, next paragraph, which is change and desertification and intensive degradation and aridity increases and sandstorms and which have hazardous effects. Okay, I think you did very good job to fill the words and memorized these all new words. Okay, next we will have just one paragraph. The rest of the paragraphs you could see the student book. You can check new words and also to see from the dictionary. So here I have 5 words, which is period, researchers, environment, consequences, intact. Okay, now I will say these words in Mongolian. Period, цаг үе, цаг хугацаа, үе. Researchers, судлаачид. Environment, хүрээлэн буй, орчин. Consequences, үр дагавар. Intact, бүрэн дүүрэн. Okay, so these 5 words will be filled in this paragraph 3. So let's see now, paragraph 3 is what is going to talk about. Climate change and mining have been affecting the blank in Mongolia and showing noticeable negative blank. According to the blank, in 2010, 70% of total territory would be desertified, leaving only 22% of Mongolia's territory blank. Within a 4-year, 2006 to 2010, the desertification progress grew by almost 60% in Mongolia. Okay, when you are reading the text, you have already done to fill these 5 words. Okay, let's see your correct answer. Okay, number 1 is affecting the environment. Okay, number 2 is noticeable negative consequences. Number 3 is to the researchers. Number 4 is Mongolia's territory intact and within a 4-year period. Okay? And at home, you will read these 3 paragraphs again, and as you can translate into Mongolia to continue to read in your textbook, page 118. Okay, now we will go on. Next lesson section is grammar. So here we have the grammar which is infinitive forms. As you know that maybe if you remember that infinitive forms there are many usage, but here I have 2 usages. One is to express purpose, and number 2 is it plus be plus adjective to infinitive. Okay? Now I will explain something in Mongolia. Okay, to express purpose гэдэг бол зорилго илэрхийлэхэд. Ямарваа нэгэн хүн ямар нэг тийшээ явахдаа яах гэж явсан гэдэг зорилго илэрхийлэхэд эхний үүлэг өнгөрсөн цаг тухайн ямар нэг цаг руу хувираад дараагийн үүлэг to infinitive хэлбэрт байдаг. Үүлгийн цаг ямар ч хэлбэр дээр байж болно. За, I gave you some example which is he went to the bank to get some money. Went to the bank гэдэг нь бол банк руу явсан. Зорилго нь юу вэ гэхээр to get some money буюу мөнгө авахар явсан. Okay, next sentence is it be adjective to infinitive гэдэг бол энэ өгүүлбэрийн бүтцийн томьёо. За, it-ээр be гэдэг бол to be үүлэг, to be гэдэг үүлэг ямар цаг руу хувирч болно. Am is are буюу одоо цаг руу, past буюу was were, future буюу will be хэлбэр рүү орж байна. За, гагцхүү үүний ард adjective байгаад to infinitive байх нэ. Okay, let's see now the example. It's an urgent necessity to prevent from degradation and take action to combat its effects. So this example is from your text. So here an urgent necessity is adjective and to prevent is to verb infinitive. And other to verb infinitive is take action. Here two verbs to in infinitive form. And you can see also in Mongolian translation, which is in black. Okay, now you got it? Okay, let's practice now using to express purpose. So yesterday you went to some places to do something. Let's write the sentences together to use infinitive forms. Okay, first you went to train station and to catch the train. It means your sentence will be, I went to train station to catch the train. To propose is to catch the train. Okay, next sentence is, I went to the bakery to buy some bread. Your purpose is to buy some bread. Okay? Now I am waiting for you to make third sentences. The given prompt is florist or the flowers. Okay. Are you ready to tell the sentences to using express purpose? Okay, ready? Okay, let's see now. I went to the florist to order flowers. To order flowers is to propose how and you will go to florist. Okay, next prompt is library, borrow books. Okay, what do you think about? Which is the purpose? Yes, you're right. The purpose is to borrow books. Okay, let's see the sentences form. I went to library to borrow books. Okay, next prompt is park, relax. So your purpose is to relax. So the sentence is, I went to the park to relax. Okay, last sentence. I will give you a few minutes to think about that. Okay, ready? Yes, you're ready. Okay, I went to the swimming pool to swim. Okay, these all sentences is using to infinitive form to express purpose. Okay, let's go on next section of the lesson, which is writing. So, when you are writing, the very important thing is to read more materials to using to write. So the topic is plant a tree day in Mongolia. So mostly people like to plant the trees, but when and where is suitable for that. So think about that. If you don't know that information, you can read some materials in Mongolian and in English as you can. Okay, when you're writing something, you will answer questions is better to suitable for the paragraph. First paragraph is we are going to talk about when you wish to plant trees. Okay, and you will also say why and tell about the reasons. Okay, for me is maybe I wish to plant trees in May because May is the spring. Maybe plant will grow easy, kind of. Maybe you can use my sentence. Okay, number 2. Where you wish to plant trees and why, and tell us a reason. Okay, maybe if I would like to answer kind of, I wish to plant in the yard because our house is not no trees there. So I would like to grow the trees around my house. Okay, but your choice will be different. It's okay. You could write your opinion. Okay, number 3 is what kind of trees you want to plant. Okay, here I have 3 different kinds of the trees in here. So pine, cedar, and bush. Maybe if you know that, you can use other different kinds of the trees. Okay, for me is I want to plant pine because pine will be always green and also looks like a Christmas tree. Okay, and last thing about is what you need to prepare to plant. It means what tools you need to use when you plant the trees and why. So I would like to show you, maybe you can use that examples. And I gave you some example which is using to need what you are going to grow. I need apron, air gardening gloves and boots to wear to do something clean. And I need spade and shovel to dig the hole of trees. And I need bucket, watering can, and garden hose to water after planting trees. And I need pitchfork and recycling bin to clean up after all have done. Maybe if you want, you can use these sentences and maybe you can add more tools to writing your paragraph. It's just 2 examples. Okay, so we learned today the information about Mongolian nature conservation, and we learned about some grammar infinitive using to express purpose, and last one we learned about some writing, how to write about plant tree in Mongolia. Okay, so now I give you the homework, which is using your student book. Your student book on page 119, you do exercise 4 and 5. And when you are doing that exercise, you always look up your new words from your dictionary. And as you can translate into Mongolia. Okay, next section grammar homework is grammar, page 120, exercise 6BC. It is connected with infinitive form to express purpose. Okay, thank you for watching us. Goodbye, see you next lesson.